Welcome back. Now for your 5-day weather forecast, we go outside to Alexis McDonald.
It's a beautiful sunny day out here and we will continue to see sun for most of this weekend. Here's your 5-day weather forecast. Today will be sunny with a high of 1 and a low of -7. Overnight we will see some snow continuing into Saturday morning. Saturday will be sunny with a high of 1 and a low of -7. Sunday will be partly cloudy with a high of -2 and a low of -11. Monday will be sunny with some clouds and a high of 3 and a low of -4. And Tuesday will be sunny and we will see close to 1 centimeter of snow. It will be a high of 3 and a low of -3. That's your 5-day weather forecast. I hope you find a way to get out and enjoy some of the above zero temperatures and sun this weekend. Now back to the studio.
Thank you, Alexis. Turning now to national and international news, Ontario is being blamed for failing to protect the children of Lev Tahor. The ultra-Orthodox Jewish sect moved to Ontario in November after Quebec tried to put 14 children into foster care and confiscate their passports. 12 of those children have now left the country. While an Ontario judge upheld Quebec's plan to remove the children, a 30-day appeal period was granted. The director of Quebec's Youth Protection Services says this allowed group members to escape. 6 minors were taken by sect members to Guatemala. 6 others with 3 adults were stopped in Trinidad and Tobago and will return to Canada. There is an emergency order to take the children into protective custody.
Statistics Canada has released its February unemployment figures. 7,000 jobs were lost nationally, but here in Ontario, the unemployment rate has held steady at 7%. BC and Quebec did lose jobs, but Alberta and Nova Scotia are up. Experts say what growth there is not enough.
Prime Minister Stephen Harper has ordered 9 Russian soldiers leave the country within the next 24 hours. The soldiers were part of a military exchange with Russia. Harper abruptly cut the program as part of Canada's sanctions on Russia during the ongoing Ukraine crisis. The soldiers were posted in Quebec and New Brunswick. They were taking part in a military exercise with Canadian forces.
And in the Russian parliament, they are backing the Crimean government's vote to join Russia. Crimean citizens will vote on March 16th. The Russian parliament speaker says Crimea would be welcomed as an equal subject of the Russian Federation. Russian soldiers are occupying Crimea to reinforce their control of the Black Sea naval base. The European Union has responded by stopping talks of an economic agreement. The United States has imposed financial sanctions on Russia, but Russian parliament says those sanctions won't change their attitude.
Meanwhile, Russian troops are still in full force in Crimea, but the government says the troops aren't active, they're a self-defense force. The U.S. Navy is entering the conflict area with a missile destroyer in the Black Sea. Turkish authorities granted the U.S. Navy access through the Bosphorus Strait, the only entrance to the Black Sea. The U.S. Navy says the ship was supposed to enter the crisis area before the issues between Ukraine and Russia escalated. A crew of 300 is on board, and 2 Russian ships and a Ukrainian vessel also entered the area this week.
And now with your sports news, Corey Weir joins us in studio. And Corey, it was a rough day on the court for Humber's volleyball teams.
That it was. You are right, Mark. And that's where we're going to start today with the Humber Hawks at their national championship tournaments. The men's team faced off against the Columbia Bearcats yesterday. They dropped 3 straight sets to the Cats, 25-20, 25-21, and 25-20. Over to the women's side, where they didn't fare much better. They lost in 3 sets as well to the team out of Grand Prairie. They'll face the Seneca Sting later today. Staying on the hard court, the Sacramento Kings come to town to face the Toronto Raptors tonight. It's former Raptors Rudy Gay's first time back in Toronto since he was traded in December. Raptors have gone 26-14 since the trade and are currently sitting in 3rd place in the Eastern Conference. Raps haven't played since Sunday when they beat the Golden State Warriors. Tip-off is 7 p.m. The Raptors also made an announcement yesterday regarding bringing back a retro jersey. The Purple Dinosaur jersey will be brought back for a few games next season, and it's for their 20th anniversary. Over to the Diamond, where the Jays hope they can play some ball today after some heavy rain caused the cancellation of their game against the Pirates. Jays are set to take on a division rival Tampa Bay Rays squad that has only lost 1 game in Grapefruit League. Mark Burley gets a start for the Birds as Ray Cobb is set to go for the Rays. Now to some NHL, where there's 5 games on the schedule tonight. Only 1 Canadian team hits the ice as Calgary plays host to the New York Islanders. Toronto Maple Leafs don't play until tomorrow when they host the Flyers. Leafs are coming off a clutch overtime win over the New York Rangers on Wednesday. This will be the last home game before the Leafs go out west for a 5-game road trip. To little CFL news, Ottawa Red Blacks quarterback Kevin Glenn has asked for a trade. Glenn was the first overall pick for the Red Blacks in their expansion draft in 2013. Management has agreed to look for possible trades, but say they can't promise anything. Elsewhere, newly retired quarterback Buck Pierce has been named to the Winnipeg Blue Bombers coaching staff. He's taking on a little bit of a different role. He will be the running back coach going into the 2014 season. Now, just a quick update on Paralympic news. Ukraine has declared they will take part in the Games. The opening ceremonies took place this afternoon and competition begins tomorrow. That's it for sports.
Thank you, Corey. After the break, we'll get the latest in entertainment from Kelly Kazakia.
Mark Wahlberg is losing massive weight, Miley Cyrus's tongue is still very questionable, and you might be able to watch more porn on your TV. I'll give you all this and more after the break.